Hi, I'm Dr. Altamari. Well, French Bulldog here like Enzo definitely needs some protection. You can see how the ears are standing straight up like this. So they're wonderful for cooling dogs down, but when it's very cold outside, this actually creates a wind tunnel in here. The circulation isn't so wonderful, so what'll happen is the tips of the ears will start to freeze before anything else, just like humans with the tips of the ears, the tips of the fingers, and the tips of the toes. So it's absolutely bringing down their core body temperature. And you know, just like us, when we go outside, our ears are cold, our fingers are cold, our toes are cold, so extremities are very hard to warm up again once they get cold. So it feels terrible. So when you're outside and your ears are very cold and you come in and they're very red and all the blood is going there very quickly, it hurts, it's painful, it gets a little bit swollen, so it's not fun for anybody. So huskies, you know, and dogs that are meant to be out in the snow, sled dogs, things like that, they have so much hair inside those ears. So they're meant to be out in that sort of weather. These guys, they have very short hair. They don't have anything really protecting them from the elements. We are a far cry from wolves. So at this point, they're specific breeds. You know, they've been bred down for different reasons. You know, they're not meant to be outside. They're meant to be in the home. They're very domesticated, so it's really not the same anymore. So really, it's just what you would do for yourself. So when you're outside and you're starting to get cold, when you're starting to put your jacket on, fall weather, going into winter, things like that, that's when you need to start thinking of what they're feeling like. When they're stepping on the cold ground, you have shoes, they don't, you know, things like that. So, you know, fall into winter sort of temperatures. Mm-hmm. So frostbite is definitely a concern, especially in the very low temperatures that we've been seeing lately. Not so much for, you know, a quick walk outside or anything like that, but mostly if we're going on long hikes or if the dog's left outside in the backyard for long periods of time, things like that. So actually a lot of breeds, and breeds that you probably wouldn't think about very often. Some of the larger breeds as well, Great Danes, Dobermans, even those pit bulls that you think probably can handle that really cold weather. A lot of times they really can if they're out there for long periods of time. And then the smaller dogs, you know, ones like Enzo here, so our French Bulldogs, a lot of times the Chihuahuas, the toy breeds, things like that. But one of the classic features of the ears that you're seeing here on Enzo. Your dogs with folded ears, bulldogs, pugs, things like that, they definitely need protection as well. They have very thin hair up there. They have the same circulation issues that our friend Enzo here would have. So I like that it's very soft. It doesn't look like it would be irritating at all. It's nice and easy to slip over. So that's wonderful, and I love that the ears are covered and there's room for the ears so the ears don't get crushed one way or the other, which can cause, you know, a little bit of irritation. I don't think it would be too tight at all, so here looks just fine. I mean, you definitely have to, you know, try it on each individual dog. Everybody's different, you know, just to make sure that yours fits appropriately. And you would just have to make sure that these are long enough per ear, you know, so they're not being bent awkwardly, but it's very soft. I don't think that would be an issue at all. I would say it's definitely imperative to get the proper size. You need to measure your dog appropriately, because what we don't want to do is cause any sort of constriction, any, you know, extra irritation that we don't need. So typically costume hats, they're for show, so they're not for function. So since this is going to make them more comfortable, not less comfortable, they'll be more apt to wear it. And especially if it's right before we go out for walks every time and they're more comfortable doing that, they're gonna associate it with something positive like walks. So that would be good. A lot of the times with the costumes, Halloween, things like that, you're just trying to wrestle them into some sort of ridiculous thing just for looks. So that's the main difference there.
Right.
So what you could definitely do is actually leave the hood just near the door and just let them, you know, get used to it. Maybe put it near something that they love, like their bed, things like that, just so they're not scared of anything like that. Once they're completely used to it, what you could do is put it halfway on, give them a cookie, take it right off, so it's no stress, anything like that. But most of the time, if you're putting it on, giving them a treat, positive reinforcement, you're going outside for a walk, which is something they likely love, they come back in, take it off, they get a cookie, they're not going to mind at all wearing this.